Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Black Male Podcast. I'm your host, AP. Now, I do want to apologize. I don't know what happened in the last recording session. I was told that some people weren't able to get in, but I had to restart. There was some trouble getting in, but now we will get started with the show, okay? Now, as first, I want to say thank you very much for watching the show. I want to thank you for watching it live. I also want to thank you for watching it on the YouTube page, okay? It means a lot to me, all right? So, today's show topic is going to be on the subject of intimacy, okay? And if this is your first time watching this show, I will let you know that we like to define the term and then we like to jump into it. So that's what we're going to do today, okay? So intimacy, by definition, is a feeling of closeness and personal connection with another person. It can involve a variety of aspects, including emotional intimacy, which is a close bond characterized by trust, vulnerability, and communication. It involves feeling safe to share your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs and being heard and understood. Okay? That's major. That is major. Sometimes we don't have that emotional intimacy with someone because we haven't given each other the time and the effort and energy to build that with somebody. Okay, but I'm going to dive deep into that a little later. Okay, the next component is physical intimacy. Everybody know what physical intimacy is. Okay, so physical intimacy involves physical contact, such as holding hands, hugging, kissing, and sex. Okay, physical touch can promote feelings of love and connection. Okay, when you have a closeness or a oneness with someone, the smallest things can mean the biggest things, right? If you hold hands with someone or a subtle kiss with someone, that's sharing a bond and a connection with that person. What also means that we're linking on another level, right? We're not just doing things that are just going to be like we're just going to sit next to each other and just watch each other talk, right? We're building something, we feel something, we're moving forward, okay? An intellectual intimacy involves sharing ideas, opinions, and questions with another person, okay? It is characterized by a healthy curiosity and a willingness to learn from each other, okay? You have to be willing to learn from the person that you're with. There's a lot of things that you can learn from the person that you're with if you give them the time, opportunity, and the trust and respect to learn something from them. Because sometimes we don't give people that opportunity to learn from us. Sometimes we don't give people the opportunity to learn from them. And so we just want people to see it our way and not see their point of view and their perspective. Now I'm going to get into this. I can be keyed in to what I want and how I see things. And I can denigrate someone else for how they feel about what they're going to feel. The major thing is that when I do that to the other person, that allows the other person to draw from me. They stop doing the little things that we are accustomed or I've been accustomed to doing. I'm going to then start asking them, well, why don't you do these things like you used to do? It's because I opened the door for them to walk in to feel the feelings that they're feeling, right? I'm doing things and creating an opportunity and a space for them to feel like they're not welcome or even wanted, right? Because there's a break in what we have, okay? The last is creative intimacy, and this is a good one, okay? This involves using your imagination to create something new with your partner, such as painting, writing, cooking, and dancing. Those small little bonding moments you have with someone are very crucial, very vital, and the most important thing you can have with them. Those things will let you know whether you're going to have something for a moment or a lifetime. Doing those small things and sharing those things with you instead of just boo loving on the phone means that you're going to have something that it is that you wish. All these things take time and energy, right? If you don't have the time to build with someone, you're not going to have the time to experience or share these things with them. You're not going to have any time to be intimate with them. Now, when we grow up, or some of us, we have this idea that intimacy just involves sex, right? And some people being intimate just means what I want to do, how I want to do it, I'm going to do it with you. That's not what that means, okay? Women have a certain idea of what intimacy is. Men have an idea of what intimacy is. The problem that it is that we're two separate wholes. We're two separate halves that's trying to make a whole. And with two separate halves trying to make a whole, it's very difficult sometimes to come together with that other person that doesn't see it the same way that I do, because we haven't taken the time to know what it is. Okay? Let's jump in. Physical intimacy is something that a lot of people, they want, they crave. We're human. We need that physical contact, right? Sometimes that physical contact allows people to move forward. With that physical contact, that lets that person know whether they're into me, and especially while that's going on, and the effort that's within there, because that's a whole nother subject matter of what's going to happen. You can be intimate with someone and they can't even physically, or they can be physically there, but mentally they're not there because there's nothing that you guys share. And there's people that are watching this, that are going to watch this, that have been in that situation. You can be with someone, or you want to do something with someone just to appease them or to make them go away or to shut them up. But what does that do with that? What does that do for you? What that does is that makes you a powerless person within that construct. That also doesn't allow you to fully know and appreciate and be appreciated by the other person. Intimacy is a deeper appreciation for the person that you're with, no matter who they are. It also is something that takes time to build and to start from the honeymoon phase, which everybody's going to have that. And the honeymoon phase is not just when you get married. Everyone goes to that honeymoon phase or that period when you're getting to learn somebody. But the part about that is that when some people are pushy and they want other people, the other person, to just accept things and do those things because that's what they want, they feel they should have, because they say they have an aggressive mindset or aggressive mentality, that other person may not like that. That other person may be drawn away from that. What that person that's being aggressive, that wants what they want when they want it, how they want it, they're showing something from their past that is showing them right now that this is what it is that they want. And they're going to do anything that it takes to get that, right? Sometimes that can be considered as a predator, right? Sometimes that can put that person in a space and in a position where they have to fight you off, or they're saying things that you don't like. And then that person that's the aggressive person in that time, when they receive the negative backlash for that, they don't like the response that they get from that person. And yet and still what they would try to do is they would try to do everything that is that they can to draw that person in, because emotionally they're broken. They're broken because they say, I want this, you look this, you look that. That's not what I want. You didn't even ask me what I wanted. Because if you asked me and I told you what I wanted, you're not going to like the answer because you're keyed in to what it is that you want. Knowing what you want and having something with someone is knowing what they want as well. That's a part of that emotional intimacy. I have to build a trust and respect and the knowledge to know that we have a foundational principle and a base to go from. If I don't have that with someone, we're going to fail. Everything that we're trying to build, or what I feel we have, it's going to crumble. It's not going to work out. Myself, I'm going to be by myself. I'm going to have some bad things that are going to happen to me, verbally and emotionally, because this person is going to tell me something that I'm not equipped to handle. If I'm equipped to handle certain things, then I'm going to be in a certain space where I can accept certain things. But if I can accept those things, then I cannot be honest with myself. I don't think a lot of people are honest with themselves when it comes to this part of intimacy. And I don't think people really have taken the time to know and understand what it is. Sometimes when you get to a certain part of life, when you have kids and your kids are grown, they're growing and they're getting grown, you get to a point to where now I can sit back and I know what it is that I want. Because I've already gone through a lot of hard, horrendous times and some things that I have faced. Now I want this thing that I've always wanted. And then when I put myself with someone and I think I have that someone that's going to give me that, I rush because it feels good. It looks good. I'm happy. It makes me look like I have everything that I ever wanted. But I never asked the other person if that's what they wanted. I never asked that other person if that's where they want to be. That other person may just be happy being where they are. That other person also may just want to have me for a moment. I need to ask these questions, but I need to be honest with the answer. I have to be honest with the answer that they give me. I also have to be honest with the choices and the decisions and the words that I choose to use with that person. That is important. Being intimate is not just a physical thing. It is a mental and emotional thing that leads to physicality. That's what it is. If I myself mentally and I have an intellectual, intimate moment with myself, and some people are going to think that that means something very nasty, but it's not. If I have an intellectual, intimate moment with myself, that means I'm learning about myself and the things that I see and the things that I had to know the things that I want and how it's supposed to look. With that, if I find somebody that I want to get with and they are red flags, I cannot ignore them. Because if I ignore them, I'm going to be right back in the same spot where I was. I'm going to have the same thing happen, and I myself will not be happy with the result. So those little things that come apart and come about with being intimate with someone and sharing that closeness with someone is very important. We have painting with a twist that's out there. You have candle making that's out there. People like to go for walks. People like to sit and talk. You like to boo love on the phone. That's fine. You could do that. You like to sit there and watch. There's this big thing a long time ago. It's called Netflix and chill. Then it started leading to other things, right? Like Netflix and chill and then Hulu and Do You and all that sort of stuff. It sounds funny. It's funny because we grown, right? But in the beginning, it's how you open the door. It's what I'm looking for. Some people, when they get that, they're done. They only wanted you for that moment. But if I'm keyed in and I know that this person, I can't invite people around me that I know they don't have my best interests at heart. They just want what they want, how they want, and are going to do anything to get that. If I truly trust and respect you, I'm going to trust and respect everything about you. Not just your body, not just your feelings, but your mind too. Someone told me one time before, and this was a couple months ago, that she's, I don't want to butcher this word, but I looked it up. It's like a saposexual or something. Basically what that means is it's a person that's intellectually in love with other people. They're in love with their mind. They're in love with the way people think. They're in love that they can get to know someone on a deeper level to connect with them. And with getting on a deeper level and connecting with them, that will give them a further bond with that person. That takes time. That takes time to know and understand people, because when we give that time and when we know that there's time out there, then we begin to learn more about ourselves and we learn more about that person. We know if this is going to make or break me, or if I can live with this person or I can live without this person. And I don't think a lot of people, and even myself when I was younger, I never gave myself the time to know that because I was never taught that. I was never shown that. The things that I see is the things that I will implement, right? Me as a man, I see that intimacy is something that I feel. Men's intimate part is feeling, right? I need that touch. You will say that. You will hear that, right? For the women that are out there, that you have someone that you're intimately involved with. That physical touch means a lot to a man, but it's not the only thing that he's looking for, right? A man can be with a woman or whoever he wants to be with and just have that for that moment, and that's just it. But a man wants someone that's going to reach him and meet him, a true man, in a certain spot. I want to be able to sit here and have a conversation with you. I want to sit here and be able to stimulate your mind, but also have your mind stimulate mine. I want to be in a spot to where we can be somewhere. I can look at you, you can look at me, and we have the same mindset. We're thinking the same thing. We see the same thing. That's having a close, intimate moment that's special, and it's a bonding moment for the two of you. That will make what you have grow. And a lot of people don't have that because they're in a rush to do things too soon, too fast, because it feels good, because it makes me feel good, because I like who I'm with, and that person looks good. But that person can be emotionally damaged on the inside from something that they've already been through. And with being through and going through the things that they've already experienced, they drag that baggage onto you. And how many of us out there have been involved with someone that is dragging their emotional baggage from someone else? And the way that they deal with you is the way that they've dealt with someone else in the past, and now to the forefront. It's right there, right in front of you. So then you have a choice. You have a choice. And in some women, when they have a man that is reminding her or placing her in a spot that the previous person or people before him have placed her in, she draws back. A lot of men don't understand this. The way to a woman is through her mind, right? She has to be mentally stimulated. You know, I can touch you and you can feel a certain thing, but after that feeling gone, what's left? Right? What's left? Nothing. What is going to keep me going with you as a person? What is going to sustain what we got here? We can talk on the phone all day, but at the end of the day, it's just talk. If we ain't doing nothing with that's action based that's going to sustain what we have, where's my involvement? Where's my buy-in? Where's anything? I don't have that. Time is a major thing when it comes to intimacy because you have to have time to have the things that you want, right? You can't spend your life making time for so many things to do, right? Right. That's a song lyric, right? You can't spend your time making time for so many things to do. Because he says, what's the use in making time if he can't spend it with you? Right? That is something that is very important. See, a long time ago, there were songs, and people my age, we like to listen to old songs. We never liked those oldies when we were growing up, right? But now that you get older, you start to understand the meaning behind the music. The meaning behind the message in those songs was, I want to have something and experience something with you on a deeper level than just doing something physical with you. That's having an emotional connection with someone. That's having an intellectual connection with someone that will feed into the physical connection I have with you. Because if I can't have that with you, ain't nothing we finna be doing but that. And you can't get mad at me if that's what we have, because that's what you're showing me, and that's what we got. You can't get mad at me. You're going to get mad at yourself. Now, I like to use this term a lot. Some people get talked out of their stuff because of things and the place that they put themselves in. They put themselves in a predicament or a situation where they're going to be taken advantage of. And sometimes men do the same thing. Sometimes men put themselves in a situation to be taken advantage of by a woman. Right? Because that woman is not keyed into what you want. You can have your thoughts, your feelings, and everything placed right out there because you have opened up to someone, not fully, but you're beginning to learn to trust and respect this person. And that person will do something and will make you draw back based on the feelings and the emotions you've previously had. And maybe you haven't been healed from those yet. Right? Maybe you don't have that time and that effort to move forward with this person because you haven't had that time for yourself. If you go from one place to one place to one place to one place to one person, when do you have time for yourself? It's okay to do things by yourself. It's okay to sit there and go to the store and walk around. It's okay to go to the movies by yourself. It's okay to eat by yourself. It's okay to watch TV by yourself. Sometimes you do want that person, but you want it to be the right person and it be the right reason. And with having the right person, the right reason, they're going to know and accept everything about that makes you in your current state, right? Sometimes people don't learn love or intimacy until later on in life, in their 40s or 50s. They're fully at a space mentally and emotionally where they can accept love and give love, because the idea of love and intimacy has been bastardized since they've been young. And what they've seen from people out in the world or people that are close to them has not been real intimacy or love. Someone that sees that I see my parents or I see people giving, holding hands and doing things in the open to show how they are, right? Nowadays, people will say, oh, you lame because you're doing this, or you lame because you're doing that. Like, no, that doesn't mean that. I want something deeper on a deeper level with other people. I want something with someone that's going to be meaningful. I don't want to just be doing something just to be doing it. Because at the end of the day, when all that's done, where are you going to be? Right there, where you are, by yourself, wondering why you're by yourself. But there's a part of it that you played into it, right? Let's talk a little bit about this physical intimacy that I touched on a little bit, right? Men by nature, we need that, okay? And I know a lot of women out there, they're not going to believe it because some women have gone through, and I'm going to preface this with this for the guys that are out there. You have to know and understand, a woman will be propositioned for her body at a very young age. And some people that have had the opportunity to have her in that way was not emotionally or mentally stimulating for her. See, when we do things too early and too soon, as our elders have told us, as a warning shot, but not giving us the full reason why it's important not to do that, because a lesson that they learned was hard for them, and then we repeat those things, we then follow the same path that they had. And not until we get a little older do we understand that it's important for us to take our time. But men need to understand that women, ever since they were young and they start developing, that people are propositioning women. They're saying things to them. They're looking at them a different way. That's making things happen. A woman's mind is mighty. The way women think should be studied. It should be studied because a man can see something one way, but a woman's going to see it in 3 different ways, but she's going to have that one outcome in the end, no matter what it's going to be. But with knowing that, and understanding that from a male's point of view, to understand that female's perspective is to garner and gauge where she is. And then sometimes if you really take your time and you listen to someone speak, and when they speak freely and you build something with them, you have to garner that wholeheartedly and not take that for granted. Because if someone is giving you something, and they're trying to share this intimate moment, and you guys are having this conversation with each other, which communication is a major part of intimacy, then people don't understand that that's what is going to get me from this place right now, how I feel and what I'm thinking, to something that we can have. How many people out there have had multiple partners? And I'm not talking about sexual partners, but I'm talking about multiple partners at an early age. And there's a lot of trial and error that you have with that. And some people have had children sprouted out of that, right? And then when you're going through that, you don't know much about that. You're just going through the motions, right? And not until you get to a certain point, you're like, you know what? I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that no more. I can't deal with that no more. Men and women do that both because of the down things that they face, because of the negative experiences they've had. And with having that down space and those negative experiences you have, you formulate in your mind what it is that you want and how you're going to go about getting it, right? Some people are not as aggressive with doing things. Some people like to take their time and watch how things progress. If you're in a rush to be somewhere, you're going to get there and you're not going to like it when you're there because you're going to get something completely different than what you expected. I have to give you the opportunity to know yourself, love yourself, but want to be in love with me. I want to give you that opportunity to have that. This is what we should be saying to each other. These are the things that we should be doing for each other. And not when we have that rough patch when things don't seem like it's going anywhere, because we're going to have a stalemate sometimes after that honeymoon phase, because everything has a honeymoon phase, not just marriage, but a friendship does, a relationship does, everything does. Even when you go to work, everything has a honeymoon phase when everything seems like it's so good, it's so real, I can't believe all these things are happening, I get to do this, I'm doing that, it looks good. But what happens when all that goes away? What do you have? you're only going to be left with those little things. The little things are what's going to carry you. The little things are what's going to be sustain you. And that's going to be the little things that's going to make it so that you continue with the bond you're trying to build with that person. It's very important. Those concepts and those keys are very important. If you've never read this book, and I read this book, it's called The 5 Love Languages. Okay? The 5 love languages, they comprise of different ways that people know and accept and understand what love is, right? Some of them are affirmations, like you speak it to me, right? Some people have a love language of being a giver. Some people have a love language of physical touch. There's different ways that you can have your love language. You can have multiple love languages. You just don't have to have one, but you have to know and understand what it is about me that makes me know and understand what love is that's going to tie into intimacy, right? But with knowing and understanding what that intimacy is and the level of intimacy you have for yourself, you're going to be able to give that to the other person, no matter who they are. Because eventually they're going to show you who they truly are based on the things that they do, with the time that they have, with the actions that they show. And you should not ignore something that doesn't feel or seem right. You have to work through that. The only way you can work through that is by talking through it. But you have to talk through it in a way that's going to be conducive for both of you, not just you, right? You have to do it for both people. It is 2 halves that's going to make a whole to create a situation, but it takes 2 halves of that whole to destroy that situation. A lot of women like to hold things from men, right? And then when I say that, I mean, you know what I'm going to say, right? They like to hold that from them. And if you've been in a situation where you're a woman and you held that from someone, or as you're a man and you've had that held from you, that makes you feel a certain way about that person. That's when the split begins. The split begins then, right? It's not just having the time to get your body to cleanse itself, for the ladies that know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that time. I'm talking about the other times when you know this man is expecting something. And when I use the word expect, I don't mean it to sound that way. A man needs something to sustain him, to keep him going when he's with somebody. That is a part of our DNA. And for women, a lot of women don't understand that. Some women are mighty givers to the men that they're with. And that's great. That's great that you know and understand that about that. But you have to sustain that. You can't start nothing and drop it for a male or female. You can't start something and drop it. And that could be a little thing. That can be sex. That could be talking. That could be writing. Because sometimes people need something that's so small as to say, I hope you're having a good day today. I just want to tell you I love you and I want you to have a great day today. Because you don't know what those words will do to somebody. That could be the fuel that they need to keep going. And with them having that, that's going to draw them closer to you, right? How many times have you been with someone and they just need a hug, right? They need that energy transfer from you to them. They need to feel love and respected and appreciated. That's an intimate moment. An intimate moment is sharing a personal conversation, something that someone didn't know about you, something that you want to be able to get out there in the open so that they have a fuller and deeper understanding of who you are as a person. See, we get jaded in thinking that intimacy is just a physical thing. I'm going to go back and talk about the male and the female part about that. But I think it's important for us to really understand this term of intimacy and why it's important in what we do. In our relationships, in regards to relationships that we have with people. Because those little things that we have, they become big things if they're ignored, no matter what they are. And if I stop doing something, you're going to notice that. Me as a male, if I stop doing something, if I'm with you, you're going to know that. But there's a reason why things happen. If I don't feel that connection from you, if I feel like you drawn away and I feel like you have other things that are on your mind and you're doing something and your time is somewhere else, how can I possibly come to you and feel we have any type of connection? You and I are going to be beefing. We're going to have that. It takes a lot. It's going to take some time for people to understand and know that you have to be raw with someone and vulnerable. And it's okay because you're trying to build something with that person. They're going to know some things about you, and they're going to learn some things about you that's going to be good or bad. They're also going to learn and know some things about you that's going to benefit them and benefit you in your relationship wholeheartedly, no matter what that's going to be. But you have to be raw. You have to be open. You have to be honest. You have to communicate. But you have to, more than you talk, you have to listen. Being intimate is also listening. I got to be able to listen to the other person. I got to know what it is that they want, their likes and their dislikes. That's a part of being with someone that is shunned upon now. People don't take the time to really fully understand and know someone else because they too busy doing Netflix and chill and Hulu and doing you. That's what they're doing, right? They want to feed that thing because in their mind, that mind running. That mind have got control of that other member part, right? And that member part talking to them. That member part is taking over. Their mind is making them not think clear. And when you're not clearly thinking about things, it's going to put you in a spot to where you have regrets and you have regression for yourself. And it's going to put that other person in the spot, and that person may not even want to talk to you anymore. Maybe that's all that person really wanted from you in the first place, right? Women, please understand that. Men do like physical touch. Men love physical touch. There's some women love physical touch, but there's nothing that's going to make a man go, I wouldn't say go crazy, but go full out than that. You have to understand that. For my women viewers out there, you have to understand what it takes for a man to go and sustain what you have. Because there's buy-in. Why am I spending all my time with someone, or I'm going to say I'm with someone, if number one, I have no time and I feel like this person not even really here with me? Right? I saw an Instagram reel the other day when it was like this woman standing here in the kitchen. She was mixing something in a bowl, and the guy came up to her and he kissed her on the cheek. Then he kissed her on the lips, and it was one year before cheating, right? Then it's man again. Then it went 6 months before cheating. They started doing it again, right? Then it went 3 months before cheating. He just kissed her on the cheek, not the lips this time. Then it was 1 week before cheating, and he just stood there watching her, and she's mixing in a bowl. He didn't even look at her, say anything. He turned around, and then she turned to look at him. Think about that time that they had, and all that time right there of the energy transfer. Women are very intuitive people. They are also very intuitive, and they know the things that they're capable of doing. They understand the power that they have. Men know and understand the power that they have too. Now, if you know and understand the power that you have and the power that it takes for you to be involved with someone, maybe your effort and your energy is going to be a little different when it comes to being intimate with someone. Sometimes all it takes is me to sit here with my drink, you to sit there with your drink, we sit on the patio, or we sitting outside somewhere, and we talking. That's an intimate moment. Sometimes all it takes is a few messages. Depends on the person. That's an intimate moment. Sometimes I can sit there and we can just go out there and have a good time. We can window shop at a mall. We're doing something. Go get a pretzel. Go get a smoothie. Go get something. That's an intimate moment. Sometimes you can have something that's so simple as me leaving a note for you. Be good today. Be great today. I love you. That will keep people going. That's a positive affirmation that you just gave me. This person is into me, right? It's not just what I want, what I say, because sometimes we get in situations, and I'll tell you a personal experience of mine, that you can feel and you can be everything this person needed and wanted, and that person will make you feel like it's your fault. And it's not. That person will do everything that they can to destroy you mentally and emotionally, but it's not your fault. It's their construct. They thinking their idea of being intimate was just sex. And then when it's time for you to do that, because I'm like, anytime we need to do something around here, right? We can't just be moving furniture. We can't just be washing dishes. We can't just be paying bills. It's something we got to do around here. It's not that a man feels like he's owed that, but that's a part of that, right? One main thing that I think women forget about men is that men have options, just like women, but men's mind, they run, right? And it's not so much to say that a woman has to entertain a man, but when a woman has a man, she knows what it takes to have that man. And a man knows what it takes to have that woman. They know what it's going to take to keep them bonded and binded together. No matter what it takes, they're in it. They're going to make sure everything that they have is moving forward. They're going to make sure everything that they're looking for is there. They're going to make sure those small things matter. They're not going to just sit there and just let things be, because when you sit there and let things be, bad things and bad thoughts, they run, they fester, they live, and then bad thoughts live rent-free in your head. Then you start wondering, if you ain't doing this with me, who you doing it with? Some people out there, they're probably saying that right now. It's a bunch of people out there probably living that life right now. And it's happened before to many people, right? If you ain't doing this with me, who you doing it with? If you ain't talking on the phone with me, who you talking to? Who you texting? Who you doing this? Who you doing that? Who wants to live like that? No one. That's a break in the intimate moment. When some people feel like, I don't want to lose this, maybe it wasn't meant for you to have in the first place. Maybe you're a placeholder. Some people are not understanding and know that this person is not really meant for you. They're only meant for you in this moment. That's an intellectual intimacy with myself. Because if I am drawn to someone more than a physical capability, then I know what I'm going to have with this person. That's a strength women have. So my fellas that's out there, that's a strength that women have. A woman knows, not just from sight, but conversation, what type of interaction she's going to have with you. She's going to know if she's going to spend some time, no time, or you think I got time for you based on your approach. A man is going to be a man because a man knows, a real man knows if a woman says something like, oh, I know what she want to do. I know what she want from me. I'll just let this sit and play out. Maybe this is going to be something different, but then it don't turn out to be that way. See, in all of our experiences that we have in life, it will propel us to know and understand more about what it is that we really want. It will show us some things that we need, but it will also show us where we want to be and who we want to be with. How many people right now are with somebody they can't stand? How many people are right now with someone that used to love what they do and now they feel like they're in a crosshair right now? How many people are out there right now listening to their friends or their best friend talk about their person and their best friend ain't got nobody, or their best friend's person is trash? And I don't mean trash like that. I mean treat them horribly. I'm going to give you this example. That movie Baby Boy. Jody and Yvette were having a certain moment, right? Yvette's on the phone with her friend. Her friend's trying to tell her how Yvette should handle Jody. Yvette's friend's boyfriend is trash. He trash. Look how he treating her. So of course she's going to feed you something to be in your situation, because you come to part of some of the times that we have with people. It's not everybody's business. It's not everybody's business. What I share with somebody is going to be between us. And it's going to stay there. Even if we're not together, you're going to have to go deep down to try to drag it out. Because I ain't finna give it to you. Because it's none of your business. Because it didn't involve you. Some people are too keen into being someone's intimate moment to see what they're doing and asking certain things about certain people or what you do or what you don't do. Why are you asking these questions? Why are you asking these questions? This is not for you to know. Being intimate with someone means you have a closeness with that one person, not multiple. Not multiple, right? Having a closeness with someone means that you can share something with that person and that is yours to share with that person. That is intimate, right? Having something physical with that person means that you're having a physical moment that is built on a bond that you have created, that you share with one person, right? Not multiple people, because you can't be honest. There's no buy-in from the other person because that person is going to feel that energy transfer from you. They're going to know that. They're going to know you're not keyed into me. They're going to know that you're not really here with me, because I don't want to get involved with somebody that's going to do that, because where it's going to be, I'm going to be right back where I am here by myself. Excuse me. That's what's going to happen. Okay? Because there's 3 C's of intimacy: communication, compromise, and commitment. I'm going to communicate with my person, right? There's going to be a level of compromise with them because I have to know and respect and understand who they are. And a lot of us don't know and understand and respect who other people are initially, right? Some of us think we can change people. Ain't finna happen. We can't change nobody. That change comes from within. Just like an empire can crumble from within, change comes from within. If there's something that you are showing me, something that you have, and a lot of people have been taken advantage of because someone will see something that you have and they want to go for the gusto because they don't have that. They've never had that. They want the opportunity to have something with you because they think you're going to benefit them in the long run. That's happened to me before. I'm not going to lie about it. Because they see something, and instead of cultivating that, they took advantage of it. And when they take advantage of it, then they're reeling from it. And when they're reeling from it, it's too late then. You can never go back and build something like that because it's going to be too hard, because that other person still has those things when you come around that they're thinking and they're feeling. That's why it's hard to get back with somebody after you've broken up with them. Because you have to let some things go. And you have to deal with some of the things that have occurred in there, right? The commitment that it takes to be intimate with someone means that I'm only here for this person alone. I can't be involved with this person and have 10 other people on the side to do that. I can't do that. That's me like breaking up my time or, splitting myself up into subsections to be what it is that I think I'm going to be for somebody else. But I'm not giving that other person the same thing that I think I'm going to give this person. The only thing I'm going to get is a hard time and bad karma. That's it. If I'm going to be open and honest with the person that I'm with, I need to communicate with them. I'm only dealing with you. You're the only person I'm dealing with. And this is the why. This is the reason why. Because I see something in you that I want to have. I want to build something with you. But that's going to take commitment as well and time, right? A great disparagement of what we have is a lack of time and effort and energy. But if I don't have communication with that, how in the hell can I be honest with somebody if they don't want to listen to what I'm saying? If they don't want to listen to what's going on? Because some people have this notion in themselves that, oh, they lost a good thing. Are you sure they lost a good thing? Because if you think it's all about you, it was never about you in the first place. And that's a major part of this intimacy thing that people face when they think it's just about them. No, you're only part of it. You're not the whole thing. And ain't nobody going to change just for you. That doesn't work like that. What needs to happen is that people need to know and understand that it takes core values. And some core values people haven't even tapped into. Some core values people don't even know and understand, whether they haven't been taught that or whether life experiences hasn't shown them, or they refuse to listen to logic and reason when it comes to being with somebody else. And that's very important. When you have that, it's going to be difficult for you to be around somebody. It's going to be difficult for you to have something with somebody. To be committed with somebody means I submit to them. I have to submit to what I'm doing. If I submit to what I'm doing, that means I'm 10 toes down. I got concrete feet. I'm in it. That means no matter what happens, I'm here. Right? No matter what happens to you, I'm here. No matter what happens to me, I'm here. But sometimes we have people out there, and as soon as they see something, they blow up. Right? They blow up. I ain't got time to deal with this. I ain't finna do this with you. You must think that so-and-so. You must think that. That's not what that means. Fellas, we got to learn how to be intimate with our women. Women, you have to understand how to be intimate with your man. It's very important. It's not just that physical thing. If a man feels like that woman is with him, no matter what. Now, I don't mean he out there doing everybody out there in the streets. I ain't saying that. What I'm saying is, if that man is a man, and what I mean by being a man is someone who's not just a provider and a protector, but someone who can listen and has understanding for who you are, and what you're trying to be. And the place that you hold with the people that are close to you, which is important. Women, you have to be there for him. Because there's a lot of times that man is running on fumes. Because he's making sure everything else on the outside is done. But when he feels that from a woman, not just a come by Sally, right? Not a walk around Wanda, but a real woman comes into his life and she opens the door and shows him things that he couldn't even imagine. Not just sexually, because a lot of people are going to think I'm saying sexually, but I mean having a bond, a genuine, true bond with this person. That woman will get anything that she wants. If you think I'm joking, ask around or look around. If a man has a real woman and that woman is there for him, not financially, but there, you're physically there for that man, that woman would have no want at all, no matter what she has, no matter how many kids she has, no matter what she's been through, that man gonna knock over heaven and earth for that woman. And that's something that a lot of women don't understand. And it be those men sometimes that get the shit end of the stick. I'm not doing that with you. You got me messed up. I ain't doing that. I'm tired. I got a headache. I don't want to do that. But this man out there conquering the world. And then when you guys have a communication break, some women will say, well, I ain't asked you for that. You right. You didn't ask me for that. Because a real man is going to make sure y'all taken care of. A real man is going to make sure everything lines up. A little boy ain't going to care because a little boy just want what he want, how he want it, when he want it, like a little girl. A little girl going to want the same thing because she don't know no better because she want to get the bag, right? She want the dude with the bag. She want everything that look good, but she don't want the thing that feel good. Because after y'all done doing y'all little business and everything, and y'all go y'all separate ways, what happens then, right? What happens when he comes back and he wants more of that from you? You guys have no bond or anything. You guys don't have anything lasting. Excuse me. You guys don't have anything lasting between the two of you. There's nothing. Some of us grew up like that. Some of us have had early experiences with things like that. And some of us at a later age are still going through that. When does it stop? When do you learn that intimacy is something more than what it is that I can physically feel? When do you stop? When do you take the time and say, you know what? I just want something different. And if that person says something different, that's not the person for you. No matter what they have, no matter what they look like. Why? Because that's the game they own. That's the thing they've been doing. And they only saw you on that side anyway. That's all they wanted from you anyway. And what if you feel like you give and you give and you give and you give? Because sometimes we give the wrong people the good version of us. Sometimes we give the most undeserving people the good version of us. Right? Sometimes we give people the part of us we should be holding on to for somebody that's going to instill the same thing in us. Right? But then when we get to that person that wants to give that to us, we are so battered and bruised that we can't even give the 10% to this person that wants to give us everything that it is that we need, right? Not our want, but our need, because that need is going to be something that sustains us. A want is something that's just we feel like we should have. We all want to feel love. We all want to feel appreciated, but we all want to know what this thing called love really is, right? Right. Because most men see it one way and women see it another way. But when women are holding those things and when they're doing things to men, men drift. Same thing with men. And the fellas that's out there, when the women are feeling a certain type of way, and when you're not listening, and if she says you ain't listening to me, I don't think you hear me. You ain't listening to me. If she says that multiple times, trouble's coming. Trouble's coming. It doesn't necessarily mean that somebody else is waiting. Now, I heard this a long time ago, and I need to ask some people. And it said, a woman has somebody in her phone just in case something don't go right with this person she with. All you got to do is call or text her, and she right back with him, and she entertaining that. What if that has happened to you? What if that happens to you? You need your security blanket. Remember I told you have to be committed to what you are? Being committed to what you are means I have to let everything that was in the past be in the past, right? A moving truck does not have a rear view mirror. They have side view mirrors, but there's no way I can look directly behind me in a moving truck because there's no need to have that. There's no need for me to go back to something that I already know how this is going to play out because it looks good, it feels good, and it is good. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. Life doesn't work that way. And for those of us out there where life hasn't benefited us in the way for us to be with somebody and express those things, then it's going to be hard. I want everybody that's watching this live and that's going to watch this recorded show, I want you to really think about anytime you've really been with somebody and anytime that you really gave something or gave of yourself. I don't mean your physical self, but gave of your mind and your emotions, but most of all your time to someone. And they in turn didn't do the same thing for you. But every time they needed something, they came to you. What has that done to you moving forward with someone else? Has that changed how you interact with new people? Has that changed the way you see relationships? Has that changed the way you view how life should be? Because everybody wants a certain level of happiness. Some people just want to be girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever you want to be for the rest of your life, right? Some people are good with being friends with benefits. Some people are good with that. That's their business, right? What part of what you have experienced is going to lead you to getting an intimate moment with someone that you want? How do you capsulize everything that it is that you have with this term and this idea of intimacy and being intimate with someone? Because we can always think about the physical part. We can always think about that stuff like that. But those little things mean a lot. You know why? Because that can give me the energy and the strength that I need to move forward. And if I don't have it, I ain't giving it. Some people that are givers, they naturally give it. It's natural to them. They don't care. That's what they do. But a taker is going to take. They have no limit. They're going to just do it anyway, right? Knowing and understanding the levels of intimacy and the things that you can do, knowing your love languages, knowing what it looks like, taking your experiences, bottling all that up, and knowing and fully understanding what it is will help you on. It will also help you the further you get in your life. I touched on this a little earlier, and I'm going to go back to this, okay? On the subject of music, those oldies are still lasting. And not until you get into your 40s, or maybe your 50s, maybe your late 30s, do you really take the time and listen to the lyrics of some of the music that our elders were listening to and that they wanted that closeness. And that music still today is lasting. And there's a reason why. They wanted to build a foundation. Most of those songs wasn't about how I'm going to do what I'm going to do to you. It's what I want to feel from you and what I want you to feel from me, because I want to have this connection, this bond. I love blaxploitation movies. A lot of people don't like it. For those who don't know, those are movies made in the 70s. It was a big thing for blaxploitation, right? Yeah, Jackie Brown, all the other stuff. You have Coffee. There's a lot of other movies that came out during that time, right? The thing about that is when they were in that time, not that they didn't have anything that we have right now when it comes in relation to people, because they had an opportunity to learn and grow just like we do right now. But what they did with that is they didn't bastardize the opportunity to know and grow with someone. If you found someone, they were your everything, right? No matter what it was. It didn't matter what someone else said. It didn't matter what someone else felt. Sometimes we allow too many people in our intimate, private spaces. That's not their business, right? Sometimes we invite some negative thoughts in our intimate, private spaces. And sometimes we refuse to do those small things that's going to allow the most intimate times that we have with the person we're going to be with, okay? All those things, if you saw that post, that reel that I put on the Blackmail_podcast Instagram page for this show, you'll see different pictures of people having intimate moments. None of them did you see nobody doing anything naked or in the bed. Because that's the part that has been to the forefront, but that's not what really makes it up. Women, learn what it is to be intimate with yourself. That way you can be intimate with other people. Okay? Men, learn what the term intimacy means and what it's going to mean for you and for other people, because that's going to help you in every relationship that you have. Okay? I'm not a relationship expert, but I'm a human being expert. I watch people. Okay? When you watch people and you understand and you can take on terms, things mean things differently. You're able to go ahead and tell people about things. But it's not like you're telling them. You're trying to get them to understand it on a deeper level. Okay? All right. That's our show for today. Thank you for watching the show live. If you're watching the show later on the YouTube page, I appreciate it. I apologize earlier. I did start on time. I was told that the live wasn't recording, so I had to stop and start over. But I appreciate those who are watching right now. Join me next week. The next show will be next Saturday. We're going to talk about medicine. It's Black History Month. We're going to talk about medicine and the idea that our elders used to think about medicine and the medicine that was available to us. Okay? This is AP for the Black Male Podcast. And as always, be good to yourself and be good to others. Peace.